Welcome to the Own Your Choices, Own Your Life podcast. You've landed in the right place to learn how to own your story, release subconscious beliefs, rewire your mind, and step into the impact you know you're here to create. Through Outspoken Publishing and NLP certifications, we share the tools and subconscious shifts that expand your voice, your message, your confidence, and your leadership. I am your host, Marsha Van Weinsberg, NLP trainer, speaker, author, and publisher. I am thrilled you are here. Let's get started. Welcome back to the show. Let's chat a little bit about a pattern that you are probably falling into and you don't even realize why, and it doesn't make sense to your conscious mind. So you've heard me say on the show is that 5% is our conscious mind. That is our goal setter. We as humans are great at setting goals, right? The vision board, the affirmations, the plan, schedule. 95% of who we are is our subconscious mind. That is made up of all of our past thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, patterns, identity, our language that we use. And it's on repeat. It's literally on repeat and we don't even realize it. So I want to chat a little bit today that your subconscious mind, your 95%, if you've ever found yourself in a space where you are working for a goal to happen and it's just not happening, and you're probably frustrated going, I don't understand what to do with this piece or how to change it. Your subconscious mind is either filtering for possibility or it is filtering for proof that your fears are true, right? It's filtering for what is possible because you're training it with reprogramming to focus on where you're going, or it is filtering on the fear. And language is dictating so much of this. See, so many of us are making we think we're making this conscious decision, like this is the way it's going to create the results. Yet majority of our behaviors, our reactions, our emotional responses, our thoughts, our choices, our patterns and decisions are all subconscious. They're just running on repeat until you interrupt that pattern. You can consciously want something while subconsciously creating the exact opposite at the same time. So let me say that again. You can consciously want something while subconsciously creating something else at the same time. And one thing that I do want to share here is that if you are consciously trying to create something, right? Say, for example, you want to go to the gym and you want to get back into a pattern of going to the gym. Consciously coaching yourself or a client is like getting the calendar out, mapping it all out, doing the things and that is there. Yet if the underlying belief is that there is a disconnect to who I am, can I do this? Is this possible? Am I worthy of this? That will show up and that will block you. And I have seen this time and time again. I just witnessed it in my current outspoken cohort. In one of the events that we were doing, that's what kept coming up. And she's like, why is that coming up? Well, a subconscious belief comes to the surface when it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So it doesn't mean that you suck at it. It means that it's ready to go. It means you've held onto this belief for a really long time. See, our conscious mind is that 5%. It is like the logic, the short term, the goals, the specifics, the analysis, that thought analysis, those steps. The subconscious is the actual thoughts, the habits, the emotions, the beliefs, the identity, the choices, our nervous system safety, and the automatic behavior that shows up. That's what that is. The conscious mind sets the goal. The subconscious mind is the goal getter. That's why would you not want to use the 95% of you to go get your goal? It determines whether that goal is safe or not to hold. And so it's really important because these patterns will continue to show up. They can show up in a number of ways, like whether it is like fear of being seen, money, but then sabotaging opportunities to have it, wanting connection, but fearing vulnerability, wanting peace, but addicted to being the actual opposite of peace, but being in the peacekeeper, right? Always like the people pleaser, knowing when they should rest, but they're overworking. So that's mine right there, calling myself on that. It's very easy for me to overwork and keep going. I do love what I do. And I'm really getting better at I still a long ways to go, but getting better at catching those signs of overworking while honoring rest. See, our brain is filtering the reality that we are telling it to search for. So, for example, if you are like constantly speaking about the possibilities of what you want, the brain then starts to look for it. Well, you're taking in 11 million bytes of information every second. You are only consciously taking in like 0.0004%, which means you're missing half of the possibilities that are there. So your brain is filtering reality and not necessarily objectively. It's filtering through your beliefs, your emotions, your experiences, your identity, your subconscious reprogramming. It's filtering through all of that. I like to say it's like the red cups that are upside down on the table and they're moving nonstop. And that's what it's like. That's why one day you're fine, something does not irritate you, and then all of a sudden the next day, it's like completely makes you want to pull your hair out. So you're not seeing life as it actually is. You're seeing it through your own internal representation, how you see the world. I know that's really hard to understand because it's not hard to understand, it's hard to grasp because, when we were in the middle of our story in really dealing with, teen, child, substance abuse, mental health issues, I know how I saw life and I saw it with very little hope. And when when I was learning this information, I was almost a little bit resistant to it because what do you mean I'm not seeing life as it is? This is what it is. This is exactly what it is. I had to learn how to train myself to see other possibilities. When your subconscious mind can filter for evidence, you will find it. If it's only filtering for the fear and the things that you don't want, you will find that too. Whatever you search for, you will find. It's literally what it does. And your language of how you're teaching it, do I want what I want over here or what's my fear? The language that you're using is training your subconscious mind where to go because it's responding to you. It is 100% responding to you. That's why language matters so much. Right? Because if you're always saying things like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted, I can't handle it, I screwed this up, I'm not good enough to do this, then the subconscious mind is literally like, oh, you want evidence of that? Just a minute. Let me get it. Let me get it. Because it's responding to you. When we were doing our immersion for Outspoken, they're learning. These guys are learning how to implement the tools. It's work. It's work. Just like anything, it takes work, practice, and repetition. It was so funny because one of the women was like, I'm really anxious about this because I don't know how to do it. I'm like, are you anxious or are you just uncertain? And she was like, oh my God, I'm not anxious. Why do I keep saying anxious? And I'm like, and to have it, it's probably a part of the subconscious programming. By the time we were done the day, I can't tell you how many times they would catch their own words. That's what it's like. That's the repetition. The language, the words that you're using is training your subconscious mind where to go next. Okay. So, how instead of directing it to what you don't want, how can you open it up to curiosity? Because that's going to expand the things that are possible. And if you're like, okay, this sounds great, but I don't know how to do this, like, what is the story that you repeat often? What is the word that you use that is not supporting you? Is it anxious? Is it stuck? Is it like worthiness? What's the word? And then what identities do you have that continue to reinforce that? Because if, say, for example, it is worthiness is that repeat pattern, then do you also have identities around being a people pleaser, not speaking for yourself, hiding, filtering your needs after everyone else's? Your words, your thoughts, it's all a loop that is working together. And you're either programming your subconscious mind for what you want or for what you don't want. You get to choose. You always, always get to choose. So, what if, since we're only taking in 0.0004% of the information, what if the life, the choices, the decisions that you want exist outside the subconscious filter that you currently live in? Like, you imagine the subconscious filter that you're wearing right now is like, this sucks, nothing is working. We all know that filter is showing you exactly what you want. If we can change that filter to filter it to what we actually want, now can you imagine that there's a life that you want that exists outside of what you see right now? and the language will speak into that. That's the power of using your 95% of who you are. And it takes so much repetition, because your subconscious mind only wants what is safe, predictable, and familiar. That's it. So you set a big goal. It's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Set that big goal. I'm going for it. Your subconscious mind is like, that's not familiar. That's not safe. And I can't do that. I need to be protected from that. So it's only trying to keep you safe. That's all it's doing. This is why when it comes to the repetition piece with subconscious work, you have to find your tools. I didn't say have to. I know that's pretty sharp language. But if you want to create lasting change, it requires honoring the fact that this is 95% of who you are. And when you do that, you're changing that filter to speak life into what you want. You now open yourself up for possibilities. You are creating curiosity. You're open to seeing it. And then it is subconscious reprogramming on repeat, hypnosis, subliminals, EFT tapping tools as well. Then what happens is that your subconscious mind is actually on board and matches what you say you want. See, in the world of Unbothered, I talk about it this way. The floor is your belief system. Your vision is your goal that you have for yourself. So your vision is your conscious mind. Your floor is your subconscious mind, your beliefs, your blocks, your barriers. The more we seal this, the more we build up and speak into belief in life of what we do want, you raise your belief system up to match the ceiling. That is when we build goals that we hold. That is why this work is on repeat, has been the thing to help me to continue to grow myself, support my nervous system, my subconscious mind, so that I can hold the business that I'm building. And if I look at what we're doing now compared to where we were 3 years ago, it is wild, the amount of change and growth. And that is still all while having major losses in the family, major challenges, health challenges, team challenges, work challenges, and still navigating it. Because the subconscious mind is your 95%. It is the powerhouse. You want to use that to your advantage. You cannot, I'm so sorry to say this, you cannot create a different life while still holding on to and protecting the old subconscious identity that speaks into what keeps you safe, predictable, and familiar. If you want to dive into this work more, our August cohort kicks off in the middle of August. You can join with the link in the show notes right now. Small, intimate cohort, 4 months. And this is the work that we're doing of Outspoken. So if it speaks to you, reach out and connect. Either way, I really want to share some foundational pieces here that can support you so that you can learn how to create these shifts in your own life. And instead of like trying to work harder, actually get your subconscious mind on board with where you want to go. I can't wait to hear how this message supports you. Sending you so much love. Have an incredible day. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Own Your Choices, Own Your Life. I invite you to tag me on social media with your takeaways or share it with a friend. If you feel called, please leave a 5-star review and I would be forever grateful. Until next time, remember, when you own your choices, you own your life.